compete in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, we would be ready. We would be ready. Come find us. Come find us. So Micah got MVP in the Celebrity Game. Then that takes us to the Rising Stars game, which was on Friday night. And yeah, Micah definitely played bully ball. That's for sure.
You didn't see Kai Cenat out there, Shaun?
Did I see who?
Kai Cenat.
Yeah, I did see Kai Cenat out there. He wasn't newsworthy to me, but I did see him out there.
Did he get buckets or no? I didn't watch. Did he get any buckets?
He only had like 2 points.
He had like 2 points, and he was pissed that he did not win MVP. You could see when they presented Micah with the MVP award, Kai was to his right, and like he was all happy, cheery when they were naming it, and then they said Micah Parsons, and he just see his expression go from like happy to he's like, what? And he looked insulted, right? I know, right? But yeah, Kai was also
he was like pulling up to the show. He was like pulling up to the game with Steph. He like walking.
Man, they really collabing with these streamers and TikTokers now for sure on these events. So.
Yeah, and speaking of another one, what was the guy's name? Like Tristan Jass or something like that.
The other basketball dude, Kelsey. Pass the ball.
Yeah, and then he came after her on Twitter, and he was like, just for the record, in the first half, I had more assists than you have averaged in your entire career. And Kelsey just responded. She was like, "You naked mole rat, you right." She was like, "Fair, you got me, but you a naked mole rat."
Pull up the deuce for the 2-time because she's a 2-time.
Exactly, 2-time champ.
That's so disrespectful. Oh my god.
Yeah, she got after him, but hey, he had himself.
No, I'm talking about him. Oh, why is he even trying to get on her? Why is he trying to get on her for? Because he wouldn't pass the ball.
It's because
he just dribbles a lot, and like that's kind of what his persona is. But he was actually
I know. I've seen him on the internet. He just dribbles. He's good at like moves like that. So
he was hooping though. I'll give him his credit. Like he came out with an aggressive ass layup to start that game. So like he was hooping. But now getting to the Rising Stars game, it had a different format this year rather than just one team versus another, rookie versus sophomore or world versus USA. It was actually split into 4. You had Tamika Catchings was a captain, Jalen Rose was a captain, Pau Gasol was a captain, and Detlef Schrempf was a captain. And Keegan Murray, Keegan
Murray.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I know. Unfortunately, Garry was sipping on his water, and I bad timing on my part for the setup. Anyways, Keegan
Murray.
Oh, I got you. There we go. All right. Well, Keegan played for Team Tamika. Team Tamika got out to like a 9-0 lead, going to 40 against it was Team Jalen. And then Jalen called a timeout, and then Team Jalen, who was featuring Chet Holmgren, came all the way back. They won. Then the Team Detlef Schrempf, which was made up of G Leaguers, beat Team Pau that had Wemby on it, which I didn't understand that. But then in the end, Team Jalen beat Team Detlef, and all was right in the world. And so I like the new format with that game. But now, guys, getting to the skills challenge. The skills challenge was interesting because we had a team of all-stars. We had a team of Pacers. And what was a team of number 1 overall picks. Yep. And Scotty Barnes, man, he looked a little rough. He looked a little rough in that Rising Stars challenge. So Jaevon, the Pacers ultimately won the skills challenge, but what were your overall takeaways in reaction to it?
The number 1 overall picks couldn't shoot.
That too.
I knew when they all. I was like, well, he can't shoot.
Anthony can shoot. Anthony Edwards can shoot. He was just shooting with his damn left hand.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. I kind of thought somehow magically the Pacers team they were gonna try hard to win. When they were doing the passing drills, they were all. I think it was at the end. They were all at the 6th spot, like the 6th score, and they all just throwing it into that. But
both grabbing 2 balls at once.
So I thought the All-Stars were gonna win initially, just based off of what they were capable of. But Scotty was being Scotty out there and kind of doing whatever. But when it ultimately came down to the half-court challenge, Shaun, I was like, oh, I was like, the Indy team Indy is probably going to win. And I'm like, Tyrese Halliburton's probably going to hit the game-winning shot or the game-sealing shot or whatever, however you want to call it, when they did the half-court challenge. So it was cool to see, Indy win it in Indy was pretty cool. I thought that just meant that Tyrese Halliburton was going to win All-Star MVP and the three-point champ after that. So I thought the skills challenge was pretty entertaining for the most part.
Shaun, go ahead. I did not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was taking off my crew neck hoodie and I forgot that I muted myself. And what the listeners missed out on hearing me say in that brief bit of pause is, Gary, what about you?
I was just gonna throw it back to you because I didn't watch the skills challenge. I'm not gonna lie. So this is about the All-Star Weekend. They got so many events, which is great for the fans. But I only feel like really I only watched like 3 events. We're about to talk about now: 3-point, dunk, and All-Star game. So if you got any thoughts, Shaun, go ahead.
Yeah, well, let's get right to it with the 3-point shootout because Damian Lillard, he said, I'm not here to waste my time. And he won the 3-point shootout again. As Jaevon is indicating, it was Dame time as Damian Lillard won back-to-back 3-point shootouts. And this one was really entertaining because after the first round, hold on. I'm going to pause just to say one quick thing I have to mention before we get into what actually happened in this contest is I, for the life of me, do not understand why Malik Beasley was in this 3-point shootout. Like maybe I'm a casual.
He's a solid
Malik
shooter.
Beasley, is he shooting like 40-45% from the field?
He's like reminds me of our guy Kevin last year. He's pretty good at shooting, just maybe not in this round.
3-and-D guy, Shaun. 3-and-D.
He's 3-and-D.
Okay,
guy,
well,
sure.
To me, like Malik Beasley had to be like the 15th, 20th pick. Like they asked a bunch of other guys, they all said no, and then they got to Malik Beasley, and he was like, "I'll do it." And that's why, because like you look at the field, you have Trae Young, All-Star, Damian Lillard, All-Star, Lowry Markkanen, All-Star, Tyrese Halliburton, All-Star,
former All-Star,
a bunch of All-Stars everywhere. Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, they were everywhere. And then there's Malik Beasley, and I'm like.
Give us that shot. Then actually, I didn't even notice that
I'm sorry.
All-Stars. I didn't even notice. Usually they sprinkle non-All-Stars into the 3-point contest. Usually kind of a couple more.
Like the other year, they had Joe Harris in it. He's a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, okay, but Joe Harris is like just a straight-up sharpshooter. That's all he does. Like Malik Beasley has bounced around the NBA. Buddy Hield, sharpshooter.
Yeah, like a buddy.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a Malik Beasley casual.
That'd have been cool.
He had a bad day.
Yeah, I guess I'm just a Malik Beasley casual because like to me he just stuck out like a sore thumb. Like I just saw all the names.
He was a dark horse. A lot of people were betting on him to win too.
Yeah, I know, man. Well, maybe I'm just uneducated, but I just had to say that real quickly. That was interesting to me. But anyways, first round was great. You had 4 players tie with 26. It was Tyrese Halliburton, Trae Young, Karl Anthony Towns, and Damian Lillard. So because only 3 players can advance to the final round with the new format, they had to do a tiebreaker shootout for 30 seconds where each player ended up giving it a shot. And Tyrese Halliburton was it Tyrese Halliburton who finished 4th, right? Tyrese Halliburton put up like 15 or whatever, and he finished 4th to fall out of it. And so, Gary, what did you think of that?
Yeah. Technically, he got eliminated, yeah.
Okay, my bad.
No, I was going to real quick. I did look up Malik Beasley's shooting percentage. It's what?
Go ahead.
You hear me?
Well, you're like Gary. I think. Yeah, I can hear you. I think you might be on a little bit of a delay because Gary will rejoin us in just a moment. Anyways, sorry. That's what we get with live streams.
I thought it was just me.
Well, yeah, you will. When I saw him like signal to say something, and like I tossed it to him like right after he signaled, and then like he didn't speak for like another 5-10 seconds, and that's when I realized that there might have been a little bit of a delay.
I didn't know that like they go to a I thought they would just went to the next round just because. Oh, only 3 can advance. But I was like, well, why? If they're all tied, then why don't they just all advance to the second round? And just see
right.
Yeah, but they did like a little
more
round where they go for 30 seconds, and they go for half. And I think Halliburton missed a couple of his his like starry balls.
Yeah,
whatever that they call it now. So that kind of
formerly known as Sierra Mist, R.I.P.
Yeah. I had who I thought was gonna win was Cat, but then I think Uncle Manny said Trae Young was gonna win, and Trae Young made it to the final round. So I'm like, oh shit. And Eb was like, damn, out of nowhere. So all 3 of those guys, because Dame obviously had won it in the past, and Cat had won it in the past too. So I was like, there's some substance there, and kind of like his shooting form, how quickly he can shoot the basketball for a big. I was like, he can probably, get a couple of shots up. So I like the element of, the starry ball. I think it's being worth like 3. So if you hit that, you get 3 points. So I thought it was very entertaining for it going past, into the second round, ultimately Damian Lillard winning. But I think that it's way more entertaining than a dunk contest. I feel like a lot of people tune in for the the 3-point contest because you're seeing stars like Cat, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton, Trae Young, and Jalen Brunson was in it. So Donovan Mitchell was in it. So you're just seeing a whole bunch of
all stars
that are in it. So you're like, okay, this is a lot.
Except for Malik Beasley.
Except for Malik Beasley, who Shaun just continue to hate on throughout the podcast. So
yeah, and he has shot 44%. Just to let you know, Shaun, this season 44% from 3. All right.
So that's why. That is why.
Give him his props. So
yeah, I had to go make sure search that up for you real quick.
I'm sorry, Malik Beasley. Thank you, Gary, for educating me. Bucks Nation is probably already going nuts.
And kind of just going back to it, I saw a clip on X. Kyrie Irving won.
He didn't play good with the Lakers though
in 2013, and he won it with like 20. Like his final score was like 23, and you're seeing guys 26, 29, getting into the 30s here and there. So you're kind of seeing that the game is evolving. 3-point shooting is a lot better than it used to be. So I think, with the score like 23, I don't even think you would have made it out of the first round. Because it was 26 and up for the most part. So you're kind of seeing these scores start to creep up a little bit because the threat of 3-point shooting now is a lot more prevalent, and people are shooting more and more threes now. So I just think it's a lot more competitive. The 3-point shootout is than obviously the dunk contest, which we'll get into a little bit later.
Gary, welcome back. I think we are basically all good. I mean, can you wave at me real quickly? Yeah.
Good.
Hey,
you good?
Hey, we're not good. We're not good. We're great. So what did you think of the 3-point contest?
I loved it, to be honest with you. I think this is literally my favorite part of the All-Star weekend, to be honest with you. And I mean, I do like some aspects of the All-Star game when we get to later, but I think this is the most exciting part of the All-Star weekend now. Like Vaughn mentioned, it just gets more competitive when someone's close. Like when Dame's getting closer and closer, I'm like, oh, is he gonna hit it? Oh, he needs this one for sure, And then even like if you have a bad start, and depending on you gotta be smart with where you're gonna put your money ball rack. You know what I'm saying, to get you started up quick. Like Vaughn mentioned, having that deep 3-pointer with the quote unquote starry ball, meaning more, and the money ball at the end. So there's a little bit of incentives that we're like clutch genes gotta come in. Instinctive stuff gotta come in. It's also where Shaun mentioned. You could be a shooter.